Hello everyone. Today's lesson is on Buddhism and how it developed in India and eventually spread to other areas around the world. When we look at the origins of Buddhism, we need to understand where it came from, where it developed. And to that we look at a very famous man named Siddhartha Gautama. He was a Hindu prince who lived a life of wealth and luxury. But he also lived a sheltered life. And it wasn't until one day where he escaped his compound and saw the world for what it was, people starving, people who were poor. And he looked around and he said, well, what is the cause of all of this? So he gave up his entire fortune, he gave up this life of luxury to try to figure out what was the cause of all human suffering. Now the story is he meditated under a tree for a very long time and eventually discovered that there is a cause to human suffering, and that cause is desire. Because he eventually had become one in body and spirit, he became known as the Enlightened One, or the Buddha. He believed that all people needed to unite their soul with the energy of the world to achieve this thing known as nirvana, or peace, everlasting peace or enlightenment. The idea is that from this moment on, the Buddha is going to be determined to help other people achieve this spiritual enlightenment. Now, the beliefs of Buddhism are very, very important to understanding how the Buddhist philosophers develop. One, there is no supreme being in Buddhism. Unlike other major religions, this is the one religion that does not have a main god. However, they do share a lot of beliefs that their followers must adhere to. Now, what they say is that they believe that if someone followed the Four Noble Truths, that they would be able to end all of the suffering and start their journey toward enlightenment. They said that all suffering is caused by desire, and the belief is that if you remove desire from your life, there's no more wanting, there's no more needing, and you can achieve enlightenment. Now, the only way to overcome desire is by following the Eightfold Path. These 8 different things allow a person not only to overcome desire, but to eventually achieve enlightenment. Now, the Buddha stresses the following of the Eightfold Path, and they said that if you followed the Eightfold Path, that you would achieve all the wisdom, the compassion, the harmony, all of the things that people wanted at that time. Nirvana is extremely important. But one of the things that you have to realize is that Buddhism was developed in India, and a lot of Hindus did not feel that switching a religion was that important. Which is why you'll find a lot of the basic Hindu beliefs, like reincarnation, karma, and dharma, can be found in both religions. Remember, Buddha is a Hindu, and he believed that reincarnation, dharma, and karma are important aspects of the religion that were important also in Buddhism. So you're going to see that they do share a lot in common. And on either the Regents exam or the AP exam, they love to ask what aspects they do have in common. So Hinduism and Buddhism share reincarnation, karma, and dharma in common. However, where they differ is that the Hindu believe that the caste system is the key to social structure, whereas the Buddhists oppose it. They oppose the caste system. There's more favoritist of equality. They believe that people are equal, not separate. Now, Buddhism did spread from India to other areas in Asia, mostly because of trade routes. Now, just like any other religion or any other trade good, the trade routes spread ideas, spread goods, spread disease all throughout the world. Now, Buddhists began to build monasteries throughout these trade routes, and what ended up happening was a big rise in popularity in Asia, because Buddhism itself fit so well with a lot of the common philosophies of these areas that it just became part of their culture. Now, to this day, Buddhism is widely used in China and Southeast Asia. Now, they achieved this widespread popularity because of the ease that this religion fit into their social needs. So when you look at the Buddhist religion, you need to understand that there are 2 major forms. We have Theravada. Theravada is the first one that we're going to look at. It's known as Southern Buddhism, meaning that it can be found in the southern areas of Asia. They believe that meditating and living a monastic life or living in a monastery can help someone achieve enlightenment. They also believe that people who live a good life achieve their enlightenment because of their good deeds. This is something that is very, very popular, and if you could see based on the map, it's only popular in the lower regions of the Southeast Asia, so Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Malaysia, these areas is where you can find Theravada. The other thing that makes it different than Mahayana, which we're going to look at in a minute, is that Buddha was not a god. He's just a man who obtained enlightenment, and he was used in his example to show that many other people can also achieve this state of enlightened being, all right, or a state of enlightenment. Now, Mahayana is the other form of Buddhism. This is known as Northern Buddhism and is actually the more popular of the two, because you can find it all throughout not only China but Korea and Japan. It is a collection, or basically, well, collection is the best way to explain it. A collection of Buddhist traditions that are found all over the world mixed together. The other thing that's important is that you don't need to be a monk, you don't need to be a missionary. Anyone can obtain enlightenment by following not only the Four Noble Truths but the Eightfold Path. You'll also understand that in this religion they believe that Buddha was a god, and they make his achievement so important to the fact that anyone can achieve it. They also believe in the Bodhisattva, and this is, of course, where you find somebody who gives up their state of nirvana, or this end of their rebirth, this enlightened place, to save other people. So people who literally give up their enlightenment to help other people achieve it. So the Bodhisattva is extremely important to understanding how Buddhism itself became popular, and more importantly, you guys have to understand that when you look at any religion, there are always going to be different kinds of the same religion. Theravada, Mahayana, two different kinds of the same religion, but it's very important to realize that even though these religions share common features, they do share enough differences to make them, of course, comparable and contrastable. So if you're ever looking at how the essays would ask a question like this, comparing Buddhism, comparing Theravada to Mahayana, these are very, very possible topics, so please pay careful attention to the things that make them differ. Okay, so that's it for Buddhism, at least early Buddhism. We're going to come back to this, of course, later on when we start talking about China. If you have any other questions, check out my website at www.mrhubshistory.com, or just email me. My email's on the website. All right, I hope this cleared things up. I hope it helped, and I will see you guys